And welcome everyone to Survival Saturdays, sorry, I'm used to saying Survival Saturdays now. Survive Talks, episode 15. Let me just make sure my voice is all good. All right, it seems like it's doing good. So of course, what are we going to talk about today? On this episode, we are going to be talking about Xbox. Now, I do know that we were supposed to do an episode dedicated to the PlayStation Vita, and we were supposed to do one dedicated on a Ninja Turtle fighting game, like an idea for it. Those are still coming, but like there's just been a lot going on right now, so but like this news is so big that I can't like not cover it. It's just I mean it's Microsoft Xbox buying Activision Blizzard King. I mean this is huge. So let's let's try to get through this subject. Let's talk about the deal. But before we talk about the deal, in the beginning of every Survive Talks, we talk about our experience or the history that we have with said subject, and that is, I guess this episode it would be Xbox and Activision. So first, I'm not gonna lie, I did not grow up with Xbox. I was not an Xbox gamer. I was primarily a PlayStation exclusive player until the PlayStation 3 generation. And when it came to Nintendo, the only thing I had was a Game Boy Color and Advanced. And then I started playing like the Wii and the Wii U stuff later. But mostly everything I had was Sony. I started with the PlayStation 1 with Mortal Kombat Trilogy. I played the shit out of the PlayStation 2, 3, 4, PSP, the Vita, all of it. Anything that's not the PlayStation 5, I've played with it. So yeah. But the thing is that there were moments in my life where I did have an original Xbox, or I did have I did have a Xbox 360. There wasn't any, it wasn't that much, but I mean, I still had it there. I guess you could say like my first true love with Xbox was the Xbox 360, but when I originally had an Xbox, like growing up, like here and there, it was the OG Xbox. It was my stepdad's nephew, I believe, who had it. And my first game ever on the Xbox original is Destroy All Humans and Halo Combat Evolved. Like, we played nothing but Blood Gulch on Halo, and it was just the best time ever. And then, of course, that didn't last long because, I mean, it wasn't my Xbox. So then we go to when I visited my dad in Virginia one time, and his friend had an OG Xbox, and it's sorry. But my dad's friend had Wrath of Cortex, which I've never played Wrath of Cortex up to that point. I've played every Crash game except for Wrath of Cortex. And he knew how much of a Crash fan I was. I mean, he was the one that got me into Crash Bandicoot. So it's not that I had much love for the Xbox original until a couple years ago when I started collecting games. And out of like 421 of my physical games, 131 has been Xbox original games, just because of how how much I really like the system. You can still play multiplayer on it using XKai Link and everything. But where Xbox started turning around for me when I stopped being a PlayStation gamer and just really going to different, places like PC and Xbox was the 360. I played Halo 3 and 4, Castle Miner Z, Battlefield 4, Minecraft, Left 4 Dead, Mortal Kombat vs. DCU, Injustice, and all that shit. So there was a lot of games that I played on the Xbox 360, and after my friends and I would get home from school, we would just play nothing but Minecraft for like 6 to 7 hours straight, and then just get off. Now, when I think it was 2013 when Xbox came around that the Xbox One came out. Now, I didn't buy the Xbox One, so as well as everyone else. I actually used to clown the fuck out of the Xbox One, just for all the shitty decisions they've made. There was no reason for me to get an Xbox One, except for one game, and that one game was Killer Instinct. And with me, I loved playing Killer Instinct as a kid, and it was a very, very long time since I've heard that name, or that that franchise. So when they said they were bringing Killer Instinct back to Xbox One, I was like, fuck, I'm gonna need to buy an Xbox. And this was before Xbox did their whole PC stuff, but they so one summer when I went to Virginia, I worked with my dad, and I bought myself, I think it was one of the first big purchases I've ever made with my own money. I bought an Xbox One, and yes, it was specifically for one game, and it was Killer Instinct. And I have to say, it was one of the best purchases I've ever made. I think I got it maybe 2015, 2016. But I played Killer Instinct. I bought Minecraft and played it again. I bought GTA 5 and played it. And then I found friends that I still talk to this day. I'm in a Discord server with him. We played Siege for like 4 years every day. So like 8 hours straight every day. So I mean, the fact is that Xbox has changed my life, and this goes for Activision too. Activision was a big part of my childhood. Tony Hawk Underground. Tony Hawk Underground. Gun is a game that not a lot of people talk about. Call of Duty, Black Ops 2, and Modern Warfare 2. They are probably my favorite. Okay, and then World at War. Those three are my top three Call of Duties of all time. Fourth is Modern Warfare 2019 because I think it's just legitimately a good fucking game. But there's a lot of Activision games that I played back then that that I still love now. But yeah, so now that I'm kind of done with my subject on the on my history and my experience with Xbox and Activision. Let's actually talk about my biases real quick. I think everyone that talks about this subject should have their biases talked about. So with mine, over the years, I've really gone to dislike Nintendo, even to the point of kind of hating them. But that's not to say I don't congratulate them on good games and good practices. Like Metroid Dread, hell yes, they give us more of that. And and also with Sony, I've grown up with Sony. I've lived, breathed shit PlayStation, and at one point you could even call me a fucking Sony pony. The thing is that during the PlayStation 4 era and after the failure of the Vita, I've kind of grown a resentment towards Sony because I feel like they're just as cocky as they were in the PlayStation 3 era, but I mean the same logic applies to them too. You know, if they make a good game, if they make a good choice, I'll applaud them. If they do the leaked or rumored Game Pass thing, and you're able to download PlayStation 1 through 3 games through that service, I'm gonna applaud them for it because I applaud Xbox for bringing back the majority of my catalog downstairs in the closet. Value backwards compatibility, but yeah, and when they make good games, when they make Horizon Forbidden West, when they put games on PC like God of War, not in a million years would I have ever thought that the fucking God of War would be on PC. Now, not every game's going on PC, but I mean, it's still something. And from what I hear, it is doing really, really good. But now I'm primarily a PC gamer. I still play on consoles, but I mean, I'm right now I'm a PC gamer, I guess you could say. But just know that I do have biases towards other companies. I don't like other companies, especially console companies, all that much. But yeah, so the news. I know we've been talking about all this shit for, let's see, how long now? Let's see. Yeah, for the past like 20 minutes. I haven't gotten to the fucking point. So the big news. Microsoft locked in a deal to buy ActiBliz King for about $70 billion. Holy shit. That is probably pennies to them. And just to put it into perspective, the deal with ZeniMax was only 8.1 billion. Okay. Take-Two, the owners of, it's Rockstar that develops GTA, but the owner of the NBA franchises, the owner of anything 2K Sports. I think they do WWE, they do Grand Theft Auto, they do all of that shit. They bought Zynga, which I think is the developer for Farmville, for $12.7 billion. And Tencent bought Supercell, who's the makers of Clash of Clans, for $8.6 billion. So compare the number of, let's see, the 12.7, right? Like, excuse me, the 12.7. Okay. Xbox is throwing in $70 billion. That is fucking crazy. And they are literally doing the biggest acquisition in gaming history. Like if you look on Wikipedia right now, I mean, yeah, it's not official, but damn, it is still like the biggest acquisition. The only other acquisition that's as big is the 12.8 billion with Take-Two and Zynga. The like I don't think anybody's gonna top this at all, unless Microsoft buys EA, but I don't see that happening. And I'll get to why Microsoft probably won't be buying any more studios like this later. But man, with this being the biggest acquisition in gaming history, you got to think, what is Microsoft getting out of this? Well, they're getting Activision, they're getting Blizzard, they're getting King, which King is the mobile developers that have made Candy Crush and all those fucking games. So what did they get out of it? They get the COD developers, the Infinity War, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer games. They give Vicarious Visions, who just, I think a little bit after or before the pandemic, they shifted Vicarious Visions into Blizzard. They might undo that now. Beanox, High Moon Studios, Raven Software, Toys for Bob, and I think I'm forgetting some, but I mean, it's a lot of companies that they're working with here, and you got to think King too. Microsoft does not have from my knowledge, Microsoft Xbox does not have a big mobile division. Supercell, Zynga, all of those companies. Microsoft hasn't bought, but I mean, they bought the biggest. I think King is the biggest mobile. Not franchise, the biggest mobile publisher in the world. So, with all of that being said, how do I feel about this acquisition? I think I'm gonna let this one slide because I don't particularly like companies being bought, especially companies this big being bought. But with that being said, I don't mind that Activision is being bought by Xbox. It's just, look, my idea on it is that is a best worst case scenario situation. Okay. Trust me, Brad. I'm gonna get to that later. But the best case scenario is that Xbox takes the IPs and developers that Activision and Blizzard own, and they help do dead Activision product or franchises. They do dead Blizzard franchises. They do dead Xbox franchises. And with how big Microsoft Xbox is, they have the power to give people help. Like for this year alone, it was all hands on deck for Call of Duty. Toys for Bob, a kids game studio, is stuck working on making, I think, DLC skins for COD. So honestly, I think this is one of those deals that I'm fine with. Worst case scenario is that Microsoft does nothing with any of it. No, nothing with the franchises, nothing with the studios. That's the worst case scenario. But best case scenario is everyone works together and is reviving stuff, building new IPs, making good stuff. Um, so everyone's worrying about the COD exclusivity. Um, my thoughts on the COD exclusivity is that I they've said that some of the properties will be multi-plat, but other than that, most of it's going to be exclusive. I think COD is going to be one of those exceptions, just for the fact that Call of Duty is so big right now, and is so many people own a PlayStation 5 that it would be stupid not to put Call of Duty on everywhere. And even if they did make it exclusive, I mean, it would be in one more or two more places than it would probably be with Sony, which is PC and I mean, at this point, Sony would probably put it up. No, because they're only doing a few games on PC and not doing every game. So, like, you know, you're gonna be able to stream Call of Duty. You're gonna be able to play it on PC, and you're gonna be able to play it on Xbox. So even if they do make it exclusive, yeah, it might suck for the fucking Sony players. But I mean, I don't know. I just don't see them making Call of Duty exclusive. Another thing. People on Twitter, like, let me try to find the tweet real quick, cause I find it absolutely hilarious. But the fact that people are saying that, and this is a mixture of Xbox fanboys and Sony fanboys. Xbox fanboys are over here saying, "Oh my god, PlayStation's gonna die! PlayStation's gonna die!" And then you have the PlayStation fanboys that are like, "Oh man, we need to start buying stuff now. We need to do it." Like, no, okay. Sony's gonna be fine. Let's just get that straight. Sony is gonna be fine. Okay. They have been doing fine this entire time. Through the Bethesda or the ZeniMax acquisition, they did fine. Through all the games that came out, they're doing fine. Now, of course, has COVID fucked everything up? Yeah, it's fucked everything up for everyone. So, I mean, it's... I don't think it like Sony's gonna be hurt by this, but like the deal with PlayStation fanboys. I'm still looking for that tweet. Where is it? Yeah, I can't find it, but apparently, or it's like the thing of hey, we hate that that Sony's doing all this. We hate that Sony is we hate big companies buying other companies. So like Xbox buying Activision and ZeniMax. But Sony needs to buy Capcom. They need to buy Bandai Namco. They need to buy Konami. And it's like, are you guys even listening to yourselves? Like, you're talking about hating that companies buy other companies. Yet you want your company to buy other companies. Like, why Sony is going to be fine, and anybody that thinks otherwise, I'm sorry, but you're fucking stupid. Like, they they have so many projects coming. They have God of War Ragnarok. They have Forbidden West coming. They have Gran Turismo 7 coming. They have Spider-Man 2. They have Wolverine. They have a lot of projects that's coming. They are going to be fine. And apparently they have a Last of Us remake too, which is the stupidest idea that I've ever heard, but apparently it's happening. Um, so um, the And don't worry, Brad. I'll get with the uh I'll get with the monopoly issue at the end. But the thing is that even if Microsoft buys Activision Blizzard King, okay, even if they do buy it, we the gamers are not going to be seeing anything until 2026, 2027, because games usually take a long time to develop, about 2 to 4 years, 5 at max probably, for a normal development cycle. Now with COVID, I don't know anymore what the normal fucking development cycle is, but it's gonna be a couple years till these companies can get together and they Xbox can sort all the studio issues out. So like getting Toys from Bob from stop making what's it called? Stop making Call of Duty skins to now working on kids games again. So the so I like, of course we're gonna get a couple games that's we're gonna get a couple games that's not that'll come out in the next 3 years, but don't expect anything big to come out till 2026, 2027, if the deal does go through, because it's not finalized yet. So with that being said, speaking about finalization, the deal is supposed to get finalized in I think the Microsoft's fiscal year of 2023, which I think is spring, if I'm not mistaken. So it's almost like when they bought ZeniMax, that like around that time is when they should be acquiring them. What am I expecting for Xbox to do once they get it? One, I mean everyone's like what's gonna happen with Bobby? What's gonna happen with all this? I think they're gonna do it slowly, because it's gonna look really bad if they just start cleaning house like that, like boom, 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 boom. They need to do it in a slower pace. They'll probably find a replacement to Bobby. They'll probably find something to like to do. They'll probably find someone that can run Activision and answer to Phil. But I do expect them to do clean houses of any allegation shit that has any person that has done that. I expect them to do clean house. I I want developers to work on what they want to work. So they now have the entire Activision library, and now they have the entire Xbox library, which I will get in. I think the next point is when I will start getting into developers and what games they could possibly work on and shit like that. Hopefully, with this with this happening, I'm hoping that it breaks the COD cycle. I have a way of doing it that will probably be better for everyone, But I am hoping that the Call of Duty cycle will break, and give it some breathing room. You know, we feel constricted that every year it like the games at the end of its life, like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, or well, I guess Modern Warfare 19 felt great at like it felt great from beginning to end. And you know that Infinity Ward wanted to do more with that game. But they couldn't because garbage ass Cold War was coming out. But yeah, I'm hoping it breaks the COD cycle, and I'm hoping, for God's sakes, get these fucking games off of BattleNet. I cannot stand BattleNet. I just want them, or at least if they don't want to take it off, just leave it on there and then also put the games onto Steam. I like having all my shit in one place. I don't want to have to go to different launchers like what Ubisoft is doing right now, and doing Rainbow Six Extraction in the fucking Uplay and Epic Game Store. I like having all my shit in one place. And that most Activision games go onto Game Pass, which I think they've already talked about. I think that's pretty much a given at this point. So let's talk about what I think what studios would, do, or what studios would work on what. So I've been looking at the Xbox exclusives. I've been looking through Activision franchises, and I've been looking through studio histories. I've been looking at all this shit. I've been researching all this shit for the past morning. I think I researched about 4 hours worth of studios and franchises and shit like this. So, I will say I will not get into Blizzard stuff, and I will not get into King at all. The thing is that I only know Blizzard for World of Warcraft, or sorry, yeah, Warcraft, Starcraft, and Overwatch. But even then, I do not like Overwatch. I really don't care for Overwatch. That's going to probably piss off a lot of people, but I'm sorry. I don't care for Overwatch. When it comes to Warcraft and Starcraft, I am not into those types of games. It's just, I'm not going to say it's a bad game, even though I've heard that Starcraft has been dormant for a while, and that Warcraft has not been doing good at all. Let me see. Yeah, I've heard that World of Warcraft has not been doing good. Especially with the COVID shit going on, and all of this lawyer shit. So I'm not going to speak on to any of those studios, but I will speak on Activision's side and what I would want or what I would see them doing. So first, let's get let's get Beanox out of the way. I think from my research, Beanox is primarily a PC porting company. I would have them do that. I would just keep them on updating and porting games to the PC and let them do their thing. Let's go with Toys for Bob. So Toys for Bob, if you guys don't know, they made the Insane trilogy, the Spyro trilogy, the Crash 4. They've made Skylanders, which is where I think they get their name from. Toys for Bob, the Skylander toys. So with the Activision and Microsoft IPs that I was able to find that they would even be remotely interested in is maybe working on a Crash 5, a new Spyro entry, because I mean Crash got a game, but Spyro didn't. Other than a trilogy, Spyro hasn't gotten shit that I know of. And now we're gonna get into the Xbox properties. Banjo-Kazooie. It seems like Xbox is trying to do some things with Banjo. Like they're willing to share Banjo. The fact is that Banjo is in Smash Ultimate, I believe, isn't he? Let me double check that real quick. Banjo Smash Ultimate. Oh yeah. So Banjo-Kazooie is in Smash, and apparently, I think a report came in today that they're bringing back Banjo-Kazooie from the N64 onto the Nintendo store. Give me a second. Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah. Their Nintendo Switch Online adds Banjo-Kazooie to N64 game lineup. So, it seems like Xbox is trying to regain hype for Banjo-Kazooie, which I think is a good idea, because you want to use the properties that you own, and not a lot of people nowadays know what Banjo-Kazooie is anymore. Viva Pinata. Now, I did not play this game a lot as a kid, but from what I have played, it feels like it could be something that Toys for Bob would probably work on, like a little fun pet project, maybe. Fusion Frenzy. That's a game that the people that know of it love it, and the people that don't know it needs to try it out. If you have an Xbox One or an Xbox Series console, try out Fusion Frenzy with a bunch of friends. It's a party game. It is fun as fuck. I remember playing with my cousins on Fusion Frenzy, and we just had the best time ever. But if they okay, so this is my final game for Toys for Bob, and it's Blinks, which kind of sounds like a joke, but I mean, Blinks was supposed to be the mascot of Xbox until fucking Master Chief rolled his shit in. But but I think if they could get a hold of Blinks, I think they could do a good job with them. So for Toys for Bob, it would be Crash, Spyro, Banjo, Viva Pinata, Fusion Frenzy, or Blinks. So, that's 6 projects that I could see Toys for Bob working on. Okay. High Noon Studios. People mostly know High Noon Studios for Deadpool. But, High Noon has made a lot of games. They have made the Transformers Cybertron games, which I own on Steam, and they are really, really fun. They've made a lot of I think they've made the Guilty Gear games back for PlayStation 2, I want to say. But yeah, they're primarily into the action third-person games. So, with that being said, 1, Brute Force. Now, not a lot of people has heard of brute force, but um, the the thing is that like it's an Xbox original title. I don't think it got that much love, but it is a third person action game that I feel like High Noon would have a really really good time with. Um, let's see. Uh, I could see him doing 99 Nights, which is a very, very obscure game that nobody has fucking heard of. Think of a tad bit of Dynasty Warriors. Um, and their last game would be Conquer. Because, you know, Conquer is very self aware, it's very satirical, all that shit. But because of their work on Deadpool, I wouldn't mind seeing High Moon Studios working on a Conquer game. So High Moon, I would say Brute Force, 99 Nights, or Conquer is what I see them working on. Vicarious Visions, like I said, I think they got wrapped up into Blizzard, but Xbox could easily just like, nah, Blizzard's got this. You go make your own games. What I would like for the Vicarious Visions to do is work on basically your sports games. And not just any sports games, but your alternative sports games. So I'm not talking fucking Madden. I'm not talking about NBA 2K. I'm not talking about fucking FIFA. I'm talking about Tony Hawk. Bring Tony Hawk back and actually do a good job and not rush it this time. Do an Amped reboot, which if anybody doesn't know, Amped is a snowboarding game for the original Xbox, and it was actually really really fun. I actually own the game. I think downstairs. Let me double check on my Game Eye real quick. Game Eye games Amped. Yeah. I own Amped and Amped 2. Now there is a lot of simulation sports, but I would really like what is that? Shit, I lost my fucking train of thought. There's a lot of regular sports games, but I would like there to be like stylistic sports games. You know, NFL Blitz or Blitz the League or NBA Baller or because me growing up, I hate sports games, but I love Blitz the League and I love Mutant Football League and I love NBA Jam and all that shit. Um, and then also a reboot of Quantum Redshift, which if anybody doesn't know what the fuck that game is, it's an Xbox original game. I think they came out with a second one on I want to say they came out with a second one on the Xbox 360, but I'm not totally sure. But for you PlayStation fans out there, think of Wipeout. Wipeout on the Xbox. So Vicarious Visions was just to work on hey, what's up, Rim? Nice to see you in the chat. So if Vicarious Visions were just to work on Tony Hawk, Amped, and Quantum Redshift, I think that's what they would work on. Sledgehammer Games, I would break them away from Call of Duty and either have them make their own IP or work on a Time Shift sequel or reboot. Which, I mean, I know I have one game for Sledgehammer Games, but the only thing they've ever made was Call of Duty. I would like to branch them out and make or have them work on something else. Treyarch and Infinity War, I would like them to do bi-yearly Call of Duties. Um, Now that's my way of breaking up the COD cycle. So if they were to do every 2 years, there would be a brand new COD. That would mean that the live service model wouldn't feel so fucking bad. Like, you buy all these skins. I mean, yeah, you can use them on Warzone. You can use them on whatever game is out. But, like, there's just no incentive to buy those when the next game is coming out. Like, you know what I mean? So, if you were to do a bi-yearly Call of Duty, it would give fans a fresh breath of air to enjoy a fucking Call of Duty, because they fix everything at the end of the year, and that's when the Call of Duty start getting fun. And of course, they have a brand new game that nobody is going to be playing. And now apparently Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 is having problems now. So Treyarch and Infinity Ward, they just do bi-yearly Call of Duties. They wouldn't have to fight about shit. And yeah. Now, there is a company that I've left out. If anybody has noticed, I have left out Raven. And it's because the history with these guys is very, very peculiar. It's very all over the place. So Raven and by proxy Activision used to make the Heretic and Hexen games, which I actually own on Steam, I think. Give me a second. Let me look at arena shooter / old school games. Yeah. I own all the Heretic and Hexen games, which is kind of like your first person shooters, but I think they're more melee based, or at least Hexen I think is. But I could see Raven going back with id Software and working on the Heretic Hexen games, or any of the old classic IPs that they own. Since, if you guys don't know, boomer shooters are fucking big now. They are really, really big. Like, okay, right now, let's see what we got here. Shadow Warrior, really big. Quake, coming back. Postal is having another game. Excuse me. Dusk, I think actually started off. You have Doom. You have Strafe, Sin. Let's see. There's a lot of games that are on my wish list that I haven't bought yet, but like boomer shooters are big now. And if Raven could just work with id Software on some of that shit, that'd be nice. Prototype. Xbox would be owning the rights to Prototype, and they haven't done shit with that property in God knows how long. Also, Crackdown 4, which we all know how much of a shit show Crackdown 3 was. But I would like to see Raven try a Crackdown 4. But the last one that I'm going to say is Raven should probably work on something Wolfenstein related. If you guys don't know, before this new reboot that ZeniMax, or sorry, Machine Games came out with, which is give me a second. Wolfenstein Games. Okay, so before they started the New Order, they worked on a Wolfenstein game. I think it's Wolfenstein 2009, and it was a reboot of the series. And it honestly wasn't that bad. I mean, yeah, I had some bad aspects to it, but overall, if they were to get a second game, I think they could do really, really well with the franchise. So, with how bad Machine Games has fucked up with Wolfenstein, when it came to the new Colossus and Youngblood, I think you should give, or I think Xbox Activision should give um, Raven a chance to either do a continuation of the new or well, I guess the second Wolfenstein reboot, or do a soft reboot where I guess now that you enter in dimensions and shit like that, you can do a soft reboot of the second Wolfenstein. What's it called? The second Wolfenstein remake or reboot. So to kind of give a whatchamacallit, just a concise thing of what I would want companies to work on, or what developers would work on one game. Okay, so leave Beanox with updating PC games. Toys for Bob, I could see him doing Crash, Spyro, Banjo, Viva Pinata, Fusion Frenzy, and Blinks. High Moon Studios, Brute Force, 99 Nights, or a Conquer game. Vicarious Visions, Tony Hawk, Amped, and Quantum Redshift. Sledgehammer Games, Time Shift or new IP. Treyarch and Infinity War on a bi-yearly Call of Duty. So every 2 years. Raven, Heretic Hexen remakes or sequels, Prototype, Crackdown 4, or Wolfenstein. Now there are some games that that I haven't mentioned: Crimson Skies, Missplosion Man, Singularity. There's so many games that I haven't fit into studios, but Activision owns a lot of shit. Activision owns a lot of shit. Now Xbox gets to have that. So, the main question is, which is what Brad was alluding to, is this deal gonna be passed? I say yes. It might have some troubles with the from what I've heard, the EU, because Europe is kind of more restrictive on deals like this. But do I think the deal is going to go through? Fuck yeah. The fact is that even if Xbox owns Activision Blizzard King, there's still a lot of gaming to go around. So I think earlier, I forget who it was, Jeff Keighley talked about like what different companies and what they're worth. So give me a second. It should be from this morning, and it is. God damn it! Why? I saw this earlier. Okay, so EA is worth 38 billion. Take-Two is 18 billion. Okay. We all know that this is how much in billions that people cost. Nexon, 15. Bandai Namco, 15. Embracer, 10.8. Netmarble, 7. Ubisoft, 7. Konami, 6. Square Enix, 5.6. Capcom, 4.9. Sega, 3.6. So, the I don't know. Do I think this will go through? Yeah. Is it going to be a monopoly? Fuck no. There is. I mean, Microsoft would have to buy two more big studios until we need to start worrying. Um, like I think if they did it, maybe another big purchase like this. Like I'm not talking like ZeniMax was big, but I mean we're talking about a couple properties and a couple studios. This is Activision Blizzard King we're talking about. This is like an entire fucking industry of itself. $68 billion worth of property. So I think the only way that it could be a monopoly is if Microsoft was to either buy EA, Take-Two, or Tencent. Those are the three companies that I think, okay, we need to start worrying this is now becoming a monopoly. Is EA, Take-Two, or Tencent. But you know, there's reasons that Microsoft wants there's a reason why Microsoft wants Actibliz King. You know, Activision has a bunch of studios that people know, that people love. There's a lot of properties that people know, people love. For Blizzard, they are big into the play or to the PC space, which is what Xbox is gearing more into now. You know, they could put Blizzard games on Game Pass as well. Fucking Diablo, StarCraft or Warcraft. It doesn't fucking matter. They make PC games. They make Overwatch. They could put those games onto you know, they can put those games on the Game Pass and they can make, not that PC gamers are niche, but they can at least make PC gamers happy. And with King, yeah, everybody hates King. Everybody hates, what's it called? Everyone hates King. Everyone thinks they're a shit company. But Microsoft has no fight when it comes to, Microsoft has no fight when it comes to, what am I thinking of? When it comes to the mobile market. Supercell dominates. Zynga dominates. Microsoft has no way of doing the mobile market. So, it's, I don't know. I don't think this is like everyone's saying that it's a monopoly. I don't think it's quite a monopoly yet, but I mean, who knows? The government might see it a different way. Am I worried about it? Yeah, a little bit. I'm gonna feel really bad for PlayStation players, but the thing is that, like, I mean, yeah, the Xbox deservedly got shat on in the beginning of the Xbox One cycle. Because, you know, they did the same shit that Sony did with the PS3. They got fucking cocky. And, of course, they got humbled real fucking quick. But, you know, at the end of the Xbox One life cycle and now the series, you know, or the beginning of the series, they're now... We need to see that these acquisitions are doing something. Let's see. They acquired I think they acquired ZeniMax last year in 2021. I think it started in 2020, but I think it all came to a close on 2021. We won't hear anything till 2024, 2025. When it comes to games coming out for ZeniMax Studios. for Activision Blizzard, because it's 2022, now it's 2023, it's going to be for much longer. And I don't know. It's going to take a while for Microsoft to see returns on this, but from what they've been doing so far, it looks like they don't give a shit. That they're doing this for the long haul, that they're not going to be like Activision and do the short-term shit, but like I like my feelings on it is that honestly this could probably be good. I mean, they're most likely going to clean house. They're most likely going to put these studios away from Call of Duty. They're most likely going to do some with these franchises that haven't seen the light of day in fucking years. And this goes for Xbox too. You know, maybe they'll do or Activision will do shit that that Xbox hasn't done in years. So I really don't know. This is such an interesting concept. Like yesterday, okay, so if anybody doesn't know, I work third shift, right? And I sleep during the day. So like everything happens while I'm asleep. So like everything happens when I'm asleep. But this is the one time where I was awake for everything. Like, damn. And, like, it blew my mind. It absolutely blew my mind. Like, just the fact of, like, or Microsoft buying Activision is just really, really, really crazy. I would never have thought in a million years that this would be it. I kind of expected EA to be bought out, but even then, it's like, damn, Xbox literally owns three of the most literally industry changing first person shooters. They own Doom, they then own Halo, and then they own Call of Duty. If they own EA, they get Battlefield too. So, but they own games that started on PlayStation. Two franchises that started on PlayStation, and then by the next generation, they were cross-plat. But Crash and Spyro, they own that now. They own one of the biggest esports that's not Counter-Strike or League of Legends or Dota, which is Overwatch. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, this is huge. This is really, really huge. Do it, but I mean, Xbox has been clowned on for years about not having games. But I think it's time for these acquisitions to start coming in, and it's a nut up or shut up situation. If they don't have it within the next 4-6 years, like these studios not having games, okay, Xbox, what the fuck are you doing? You just spent $70 billion just to fucking do nothing. But I think they are doing something, and yeah. But if you guys have any thoughts on anything about this podcast, like anything subject wise or like points wise, like I don't know, I might be wrong about the Monopoly thing, but I think I was watching Hogue Law, and he said, you know, he's an actual lawyer and shit like that. You know, he was looking at it, he's like, you know, I mean, the only thing that would be bad is just other countries. The U.S. would probably be a small problem, but wouldn't be too bad. But if you guys have games, the only reason why I don't think Raven would make X-Men Legends 3 or Ultimate Alliance 4 is just because those are Marvel properties. I mean, yeah, they did the Sea of Thieves thing with Pirates of the Caribbean, but like I just don't know if Disney. Well, actually, you know what? Better yet, Disney might give them the rights to it because I mean, Spider-Man's making so much fucking money, they might give him the rights to do what's it called games, any of the Disney franchises. So stuff like X-Men Origins. Now that Phase whatever the fuck, I don't even know, Phase 7 or whatever the hell is coming out with like X-Men or some shit. But if you guys have anything to say about like my best worst case scenario which is basically worst case scenario, Xbox wasted $70 billion. They don't do anything. Best case scenario is that these studios leave Call of Duty and they actually get to work on what they want. Tell me what you think about if you think I'm right about the Call of Duty, or not Call of Duty. If you think I'm right about the Sony shit, that people are fucking stupid. Like if they think Sony is gonna fail because, oh my god, Xbox bought a big company, that must mean Sony will die. Sony's gonna be fine. And tell me your experience with Xbox games and Activision games. Like an Activision property I would like to come back is Gun, but the story was kind of finalized in that one game. And my god, Thomas Jane as fucking Colt, just perfect. And of course, Thomas Jane is my other favorite Punisher. I love Thomas Jane's Punisher. If it wasn't for John Bernthal, he would be my favorite. But yeah, just tell me in the comments like what you all think. We will be doing Survive Talks 16. I don't know when, but I think I'll probably talk about the PlayStation Vita. I think that's what I'm gonna try to talk about next. But I want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank everyone for the likes, for the comments, or the live chat. I want to thank everyone for spending God knows how long on this, watching me. So if you haven't, check me out. I stream Mortal Kombat Online every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. It is twitch.tv Mortal _Kombat _online. Follow me on Twitter at Survived Combat. Subscribe because more of these podcasts are coming. And yeah, I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful day. And yeah. I think this will only help Activision, Rim. But I do want to thank you all for watching, and goodbye, my fellow combatants.